Hi guys, so my name is Rebecca Zug, and I'm going to be talking a little bit to you guys about animals and health and the benefits that animals give humans. So, first off, we're going to talk about a little bit about the history. Um, there's a vast amount of history between the relationships between human and animals. However, fossil evidence suggests that the canine species had relationships with humans and interactions about 500,000 years ago. So, what do animals decrease in us humans? There's a multitude of things that animals help us do. First off is blood pressure. Animals have the ability to decrease our blood pressure by calming us and putting us in a happy state. The next thing is cholesterol levels and triglyceride levels, and that kind of goes back to the blood pressure and lowering the heart rate, and that becomes a cyclic event. The next thing is the loneliness. Animals give companionship, they bring friendship to people, and they bring a social support almost. Even though they're not humans, they help humans get through the day almost, and they also help with depression. This is a simple thing as just you know petting an animal relieves a lot of sadness. And I read a study that said there was fewer strokes in cat owners, which is random, but yeah, there's a study that shows that there's fewer strokes in cat owners. So on the flip side of that, what do animals increase? Um, Animals give the opportunity for people to engage in physical activity, whether that be, running on a trail with your dog, or, rolling around your living room with your cat, or anything like that. It Animals allow for movement, and not necessarily just to sit in front of the TV all day. They they make humans and people more active. The second thing is socialization. They bring people together, whether that be to the dog park to go hang out with friends, or whether that be to the zoo, or just walking down the street and talking to some stranger and petting their dog, or talking about an animal, something like that. They bring human connection. Another thing is I read that animals increase immune systems. So if a child or an infant is exposed to an animal, they build up their immune system because of the cat hair and the dander and all of that stuff as well. So animals also give love. They give unconditional love, and I read somewhere, or I heard it, maybe in our class, that um, when when a person walks into their house after a long day of work, it's like a crazy number, like 70% of people will greet their pet or animal first before any other person in their household. So it's kind of interesting to think of it like that. That just the impact that animals give on humans. So next, I'm going to talk about service animals and and the different classifications of that. So guide animals are um, animals who help the blind. So they help them get through their, just daily life and what other people take for granted. These guide animals help those people do. Now, hearing animals kind of do the same thing, except they obviously work with the deaf and help them through their daily lives. Now, service animals is kind of like an umbrella term. However, it's defined as animals that have been trained to perform tasks that assist people with disabilities. And there's a huge array of things that animals can help with. I read a study that there were helper monkeys. Now, this is a recent study done in Mount Sinai Medical Center that said that there was cases of monkeys helping with quadriplegic and paraplegic individuals. And this would make sense because monkeys are a lot more agile than, say, a dog or cat ever would. So they can assist people in a lot more ways than any other animal could do. And also, these monkeys live 25 to 30 years longer, so they can be in the same individual's life for a very long time. Another service animal that I read about was diabetic animals. And it's not that they're diabetic, but they help people with diabetes because they are trained to see onset of hypoglycemia symptoms in insulin-dependent people. Another one that I know of is epilepsy, and these mainly dogs are trained to identify when there's symptoms of epilepsy, and they respond in a correct fashion. And then another one that I think is becoming more recent, and I've heard and read about in the news, is peanut butter. There's dogs who are trained to sniff out peanut butter because peanut butter has become such a huge allergy, and so many people go into anaphylactic shock because of that. So I read a study about myocardial infarctions after 1 year in older adults. And what this was there were animals given to people who just had a heart attack. And they wanted to see the impact of animals on a 1 year survival rate. And what they found was that the presence of animals decreased the cardiovascular activity, which help somebody who was recovering from a heart attack. They also reduced the stress of the person and kind of acted like a buffer and also just as a friend, because many older adults live alone. They don't have that companionship. So the animals gave them that companionship and kind of a sense of responsibility and being. And because of that, they improved the overall health status of those individuals. And the cardio risks were much greater for those who did not receive the animals. So it just kind of showed how much animals do for a person, even though we don't realize it so much. So these questions, the last two are kind of rough and kind of controversial, but I kind of wanted to see what you guys thought. So the first one is just, if you had a pet growing up, what feelings did you encounter when spending time with that animal? Was it joy? Was it de-stressing? Anything like that. And then if not, talk about a time when you had an interaction with an animal, whether that was at a friend's house or in a park, anything like that. Just a positive interaction you had. And the second one is, how do you feel about animals for medical research? And my third question is, what are your thoughts of animals in captivity, whether that is for medical research or a zoo or anything like that? So I hope you guys liked my presentation, and thank you guys for listening, and have a great day. Thanks.